In the next few minutes, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 incredible features of this lightweight frame, and I'm going to be giving you an overall production update for all of our customers and when to expect this product to be shipped to your door. Let's dive in. Hey there, Brice from Vaucluse Backpack Ventilation Gear, and today I'm going to be giving you a product update on our Ultralight Backpack Ventilation Frame, which you can see right here. The first feature that I want to be highlighting is how light this frame is. I'm going to be sharing with you on camera number 2 what this frame weighs. Here we are on camera 2, and I have my trusty scale, which I'm going to 0, and hopefully you can see that, and it is zeroed. And so what I'm going to be doing is putting this on the scale, and as you can see, this frame weighs approximately right here 3.4 ounces. 3.4 ounces is 1/5 of a pound. It's also less than 100 grams, and you're not going to be finding a frame this light anywhere else. I'm going to be showing with you just 2 examples of frames that you can purchase. The first is this very, very nice Gregory Zulu 40, which I believe is actually 38 liters. And what it has is it has a curved frame. It's fantastic for heavy weights, and that's why it has this frame. I believe it has a, I think it's made out of steel. It has 2 steel rods to keep the curvature, and then it has mesh and it has foam. It's a fantastic backpack. However, the frame itself weighs, I believe, around 3, well, the backpack itself weighs about 3 pounds. So you're just starting off with 3 pounds predominantly to be getting you ventilation. That's what this backpack is really designed to do. So that's one example right there. Let me get another one. This backpack is a Deuter Speedlight 32 liter. I actually really like this backpack. I like it with the frame attached. And if you'll notice that it's a very flimsy frame, but nothing wrong. I'm a big fan of Deuter, but it uses mesh and foam to create this pattern that when you look at it, it looks really fancy and there's a bit of a curve. But when you wear the backpack and you obviously fill it up with stuff, this is just going to collapse and it's going to go right on your back, and you're not going to get any airflow. What you can actually find is I've done other videos, I'll provide the link, is that I've taken this out on the trails with my frame and without, and I've tested the airflow, or the temperature and the humidity of my back wearing this backpack. And there's a tremendous difference between wearing the Ultralight backpack frame from Vaucluse and not wearing it. When you wear the Vaucluse backpack frame, it's literally night and day. So this backpack, fantastic backpack, but the frame, that the airflow really doesn't work. But with the Vaucluse frame, it's incredible. Feature number 2 of this frame is that this is universal. This has been designed to be able to attach within seconds to your favorite backpack. And I have another example of a backpack. This is an Osprey Daylight. Again, this is just a day pack, but the frame, the Vaucluse frame, which I'm going to leave right here, easily attaches. You have these straps right here, and those just loop around the straps quite quickly. If I go on camera number 2, I'll show you what that looks like. So right here, all it really does is it loops around, and you have 3 levels: low, medium, and high, depending on how you want it to sit on your back. And you just easily loop it around. Here it is, it's around the strap, and then loop it, clip it. And this design, in the Generation 2, that's what you're seeing right here. This is designed, it's not gonna pop out. I mean, you really have to really yank at it to remove it. And this frame has been designed not only to attach quickly to your backpack, but it's also been designed quickly to disconnect from your backpack. So if you want to switch from backpacks, you can, but also on the trail, you can take it off and you can sit on this, and it's a very lovely seat cushion. So if you want to just sit and not be in the on the cold and possibly wet ground, you can do this, and you can also use it as a pillow, wrap around a shirt. And so there you go. It's a frame, it's a seat cushion, and it's a pillow. So multifunction, that's a great feature as well. The third feature that I want to highlight today is the airflow gap. It's going to be consistent while you hike because this has been designed not to squish and condense like a lot of backpack frames. A lot of backpack frames have a curved element to it. If I take this, for example, this Deuter, again, it has somewhat of a curve, but when you're wearing it, because it's quite flimsy, that curve disappears. And then the other example is this Gregory, which it has a curve, but it's when you're wearing it, again, it condenses on your back. And then what you're left with is you're left with a very small gap in the middle. And then what happens is as that hot air tries to rise, because that's what hot air is going to do, you know, there's no space anymore because your back is on it. So there's no real way for the air to dissipate on these backpacks. Now with this, the Vaucluse frame, it provides a lot more space between you and your backpack. It runs, I think it's around about 0.75 inches, so 3/4 of an inch. Now you might be thinking, well, you know, that's gonna kind of change the center of gravity. Now, if you're an enthusiast in the sense that you really want that backpack next to you at all times, because maybe you're doing some mountaineering and you just need to make sure that the center of gravity is as much as possible, then by all means, we'll eventually make this to where the gap is a little bit smaller. But what we found for the majority of people, 0.75 inches, so that give and take, we're moving the center of gravity a little bit. So we're sacrificing that center of gravity for some significant airflow, and that airflow is not going to go anywhere because the frame is designed, if I show on camera number 2, it's not going to squish on you. It's flexible enough. And this is going to be even more flexible because I'm going to get into that in a second. But this is going to be very, very, very flexible on your back. So it's going to move. It's going to move with your back. It's not rigid like metal. It's not mesh. So it's just going to squish right on your back. It's going to flex with you, and it's going to keep that airflow. And that is a fantastic feature. Now for the production update. I've been speaking with my team, and there's 2 things that we're really finishing up on. It's taking a little bit longer than we anticipated. Nonetheless, we're going to make sure it gets right, because when you're out on the trails, you're going to want gear that works perfectly. And so what we're doing, I'll show on camera number 2, is what some of the feedback was. We just want to make sure that when you clip this in, and these clips right here, when you clip that in around your strap, this isn't going to go anywhere unless you want it and you can yank it out. Right now, the male-female connectors, if you want to call it that, it's not tight enough. So we just got to do a little bit of tweaking. And I explained in another video that when you change one small element in the whole production cycle, everything changes. So this is still in progress, but we're moving forward with that. And then the second update is the airflow spacer connector, which you can see right here. We've just got to make sure that when the spacer snaps into that hole right there, same thing. When it snaps, it's not going anywhere unless you want it to go somewhere. So you can pop it out, and that might be even another feature. You can pop this out, the frame, and then make it. Well, I'm going to turn off camera 2. You can make this pretty much flat or flatter, and then you can just store it wherever you want or store it in your backpack. So if you don't really need it, but you want to take it on the trail with you, you can close this and put it in your backpack. But we're still working on just making sure that the airflow spacers are secure so that way nothing pops out while you're hiking. However, when you do want to pop them out, you can give them an old tug and they pop out right there. So that's the overall update on the frame. We're very, very excited to be introducing it because we really think this is a real game changer. And then next time I'll be diving into a little bit deeper on the ergonomics of this frame and how it's going to feel really, really good on your back. And so that's it for me. See you on the trails and to sweating less. Bye.